Painful. Truly, truly heartbroken. When you were winning a game in the 87th minute, when you score a penalty, when you were gifted the opportunity of securing 3 points in the 87th minute, it is imperative that you see out that opportunity and make sure that you secure the 3 points. Overall, a point against Manchester United, particularly considering the form they're in, isn't the end of the world. But in that context, it really is 2 points dropped. Fair play to Manchester United. They were definitely worthy of a point. But your expectation changes. On the 80th minute, a point would have been decent. Scoring in the 87th minute, particularly in that circumstance, when you are gifted that penalty by a foolish Mctominay and arguably a generous ref, you have to make the most of it. For me, it was a clear penalty. It was a definite penalty, one that had to be given. But what is Scott McTominay doing? So foolish. But I'm gutted because we still can't beat Manchester United. The last time we beat Manchester United at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League, Alvaro Morata scored that brilliant header at the Matthew Harding end off the Cesar Azpilicueta cross. But think how long ago that was. Why can't we beat Manchester United at Stamford Bridge? Think of the pitiful teams that Manchester United have had over the years, and we just cannot find victory against them. It's so frustrating, it's so annoying, and we really did have an opportunity today to take the sting out of Manchester United because I am fearful about what they are doing. I think Erik Ten Hag is getting an awful lot right. I think he is doing some very impressive things at Manchester United, and today we had an opportunity to stop them in their tracks. They got a massive result in the week against Tottenham. That will build momentum. And what we have done today in the last few minutes there is add to that momentum. It's add to the trajectory that they are on. And it's so frustrating. We really, really needed to see that game out. And it could be perilous for our ambitions this season. I'm worried about Manchester United. I think they're doing really well, moving in the right direction. And look, I'm happy with Chelsea. I think Chelsea are doing some excellent things. But we had such an opportunity today. We finally conceded a goal. The great Kepa Arrizabalaga has actually conceded a goal. I cannot believe it. The clean sheet run ends. And what a goal it was. I mean, the game overall, largely dull, wasn't it? Look, I was on the edge of my seat because I'm a Chelsea fan. And obviously, when you're playing Manchester United at Stamford Bridge, there is arguably no bigger occasion. Manchester United, the great Manchester United, arriving at your home ground. It always matters. It always counts. It's always relevant. But the game itself was dull. I mean, it was a very tactical affair. It was a game of chess, and it was Potter versus Ten Hag, but it did come alive. In the last few minutes, it bounced into action, and Jorginho's penalty, we had the lead in the 87th minute before Casemiro scored that first ever Manchester United goal. The celebrations for Manchester United were wild. The away end went ballistic, and I can totally understand why. When you think of everything going on with Manchester United at the moment, the Ronaldo question, it's amazing, isn't it? This is the presence of Ronaldo. This is the shadow that Cristiano Ronaldo can cast upon his team. Even when he is nowhere near the game, even when he is nowhere near the headlines, for some reason, he is still the headline. He still counts. He is still relevant. And Manchester United scoring goals and getting points without Cristiano Ronaldo, it counts. And I'm just gutted. I'm really gutted. I try and be more honest. It's a fair result. I think Manchester United owned the first half, and I think we were dominant in the second. And therefore, a game of two halves, a point is probably fair. But off the back of a grandstand finish like that, we needed to see at home. We had the luxury of home support. We had the luxury of being 1-0 up at home. Stamford Bridge rocking. Buoyant mood as you score against Manchester United. You have to see it out. But I do understand that a point apiece is probably the fair result. I mean, their goal is very frustrating. They had all their players forward for that set piece, and ultimately it led to the goal. I think it was Shaw who sort of curled it in beyond the far post, and then how Casemiro got up, off balance, somehow got in front of Scott McTominay, who was trying to nick it off his head for some ridiculous reason, and he looped a tremendous header back across the keeper, and even Kepa Arrizabalaga couldn't keep it out. That's how good a goal it was. Even Kepa couldn't keep it out. He did his best. He did brilliantly to get a touch. He tipped it onto the post, and for 1 second, I was sitting there watching it with a true Geordie. I thought, he saved it. He's managed to tip it onto the post. What an exceptional save, building off the performance against Brentford and the performance against Villa. But it crept painfully and cruelly over the line. Kepa could only push it into the inside of the post. And the ball bounced back in and across the goal. And look, it was far and convincingly over the line before Kepa could pull it back. But what a shame, because I thought we were going to secure a victory that we didn't deserve. But that's the point of football sometimes. Winning games that you don't deserve to win. Winning games that aren't meant to be yours. Securing 3 points that you don't deserve. That's the point of football. That's the point. That's how you win silverware. And it's a real shame. Scott McTominay made an error. I thought it was interesting as well that Graham Potterism in full effect. His substitutions changed the game. Chukwuemeka coming on, involved in the goal. He was part of the move that led to the goal. Armando Broja, off the cross coming in, he's fouled by McTominay. Makes a run. McTominay foolishly clasps his hands. He actually clasps his hands around Broja. Broja goes down. I mean, I don't think McTominay can have any complaints. I think Broja probably made the most of it and certainly did make the most of it. But so he should. If you're going to be foolish enough to make that challenge, you've got to expect the consequences. So it was good to see Graham Potter's substitutions really having an effect, which is obviously what you want. You know, Potter, he's so proactive and I love it. It was what Tuchel was a real pain for. Tuchel would pick his team and that would be the team regardless. Regardless of how it's going, he would stick to his guns and his principle. And sometimes it would cost Chelsea. I love what Potter did today. Starts with 5 at the back, bang, Cucurella off, 4 at the back when it isn't working. I love the way that he's so reactive. Brings on Chukwuemeka, brings on Armando Broja, those two involved in the goal. So I truly love to see it. Chelsea is still in 4th in the league. But, I mean, Newcastle, as I've just been listening to Geordie talk about, have the ability to go level on points with Chelsea tomorrow. So it really does feel like 2 points dropped. We're on 21 points, still in the top 4. But overall, I am gutted. I am truly gutted. It's just a shame because we had it there, but it was Casemiro's injury time header that has ruined it for us. And when you think what Manchester United have been up to over the past 3 days, you know, talks of Cristiano Ronaldo, and you wonder if he's going to be massively on their mind. Are they going to miss him? What kind of impact is he going to have? They've managed to get away with it. I'm gutted. I really am. Dropping points to Manchester United again at home in the league. Will we ever beat them again? It's so frustrating because this Manchester United team are certainly beatable. But Potter is doing very well with Chelsea. Ten Hag is doing very well. And ultimately, we couldn't separate them. It's so frustrating because Potter has obviously beaten Ten Hag already this season. He would have been manager of Brighton when they beat them this season. So it's a shame that he couldn't get the double over his foe, but fair play to Ten Hag. Overall, a point is a point, and it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please click subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next video. I'm out in a bit.